Hi everyone, it's me, Krylios, Team Racing Productions MC and producer. And I have a special guest with me today, and I'll give them the opportunity to introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me on your show. My name is Princess Blandon, and I am a candidate for governor here in Virginia under the newly formed Liberation Party. And so, thank you again for having us.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, first of all, let's talk a little bit about why you decided to run. It's a general election this year in Virginia. Why have you chosen to run this year?
Absolutely. And I'm going to talk about that, but I want to just mention something that I just said. You'll hear me say, thank you for having us, because I am one of the many voices for all Virginians, for the oppressed people. And so this is a campaign about all of us, risen up for us. And so I decided to run for governor of Virginia, due to the continuous failures of the two-party system, especially the Democratic Party. And to give it, the story in a nutshell, after the unjust murder of George Floyd last summer, there was an uprising in Richmond, and we united and we mobilized to demand that our elected officials, not just say that Black Lives Matter, right? But to enact legislation that shows that Black liberation matters, that shows that, they put community care and safety first. And essentially they refused to. They were very performative, and they simply made symbolic moves, or they passed legislation that was weak and watered down. And I remember saying countless times, it's time for the rise of a strong independent party. And at that time, I had no intentions at all for running, but I knew that we couldn't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. That's Einstein's definition of insanity. And it got to a point after multiple legislators reached out to me that I quickly saw that, again, this was performative, that they had no true desire to enact legislation that was centered on equity and humanity, and that put the needs of the community of Virginians first. And so, I had to, get myself positioned to be a part of the solution. And I made the decision that we can no longer continue to solely fight in the streets, that we have to expand our fight from the streets into the seats of these key elected positions to claim what we all rightfully deserve.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, tell me some of the top three issues you would say are important for you in this campaign.
Absolutely. And that's probably my least favorite question, simply because, we put our hearts and all of our energy and attention, into creating all of our policy stances. And
Yeah.
all of them are near and dear to us. If you ask me which ones are the most intimate, to me, I would
Yeah.
say, racial justice, criminal justice, and I'm an educator, so education, but again, I have strong connections and ties to all, of our policy stances. And in a nutshell, when you look at our policy stances, they're all based on two major, pillars, and that's
Yeah.
equity and humanity. And
Mhm.
that's essentially what we're fighting for.
Certainly. And I know you talked about it a little bit, but for, those viewers who've never heard of this party before, how, talk to them a little bit about it and how they can get involved as well.
Sure. So let me give you a tiny bit of a backstory. So
Yeah.
as you heard me say, I'm an educator. I'm a veteran educator for over 13 years. I'm originally from upstate New York, and my family moved, us down from New York to Middle Peninsula, Virginia, to provide a safer environment, position my siblings and I, so that we can thrive and move forward and grow in a safe environment. And when I was serving as an assistant principal back in 2018 at Essex High School in Tappahannock, Virginia, my brother, Marcus David Peters, who was one of our teachers, he was a biology teacher, completed a full day of teaching. And as he was heading to his home in Henrico, he had a mental health crisis, which resulted in a Richmond police officer murdering my brother while he was unarmed, completely undressed, and experiencing a mental health crisis. So it was the murder of my brother in 2018 that was my spark. It is the continuous failures of the two-party system that, again, ignited, continue to ignite my fire and cause it to expand, to cover the broad spectrum that you see reflected in our policy stances. And so this, again, is a campaign, and I am a candidate that was risen up by the people, for the people. And so, when we say how can people get involved, one of the biggest steps that community members across the Commonwealth can take is sharing our socials, getting on social media, following us, sharing our tweets, sharing our website, talking to your neighbors, talking to your family members and your friends. And it sounds so simple, but it makes such a big impact, because here's the reality. I am running as a third-party candidate, okay? The duopoly, the two-party system, does not respond nicely to people who are pushing up against the status quo in the establishment, which is very oppressive. And so if we look at the current day, I have been blocked out of the gubernatorial debates. I met all of the criteria that the other two candidates met to get on the ballot. However, they will not allow me to participate in the debates, as that's not only is too much like right, however, it would also, spread awareness about my campaign and about, what we stand for, and that we are truly that party that is fighting to elevate the voices, needs, and concerns of the people, and that we refuse to, allow the duopoly to continue to put profit and politics over the voices, needs, and concerns of the people. And so, again, following us on social media, sharing, information with your friends and family members. Donations are always needed and welcome, as we do not take money from corporations. We will not allow corporations, such as Dominion, to be the mouthpiece for our campaign. We will only take donations from community members, as that's who we are fighting for.
Certainly, certainly. And I'm glad you brought that up, because how can our viewers, how can they follow you, keep up with you, follow the social media accounts of the party, donate to the party, donate to your campaign? How can viewers across the Commonwealth go ahead and do that?
Absolutely. I think the easiest way is to go to our website, which is www.princessblandon.com, and you'll see links to our socials there. And you'll also see a donate button as well. If you're interested in volunteering, and volunteering can come into so many different ways. There's a link on our website where you can sign up to volunteer. We're looking for people to be boots on the ground. We're looking for people to help with phone banking, whatever it is that you can do. Whatever your strength is. If it's the arts, I'm sure there's some way that we can utilize your natural strengths. And so again, we're welcoming all. We need all of us to continue to unite in order to claim what we rightfully deserve.
Awesome, awesome. And thank you so much for joining me today. Wishing you best of luck on your campaign.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And to our viewers, thank you for watching. See you all. Bye.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, everyone.